Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. This is Piney Fork Farm. My name is Tony. Just want to give you an update on the tomatoes and the farm and what we're doing here. And you'll see behind me, I've got my tomatoes planted. As I do most years in these tunnels, I'm raising Florida 7514. You can get the seeds from Rupp Seed Company. And these tomatoes were planted somewhere around the 11th, 12th, 13th, right in there of March in my greenhouse. That's when I started my seedlings. And I can go from a seed in the, I use 4-inch pots. And I can go from a seed to a finished product ready to go in the high tunnel 35 days. This year I planted these tomatoes here on April the 15th. So that's like 3 weeks and 1 day. They were as good a transplants as I've ever had. Good size, not leggy. I was real pleased with them. I also came in this spring with some more compost. I normally, for the last 2 years, have bought compost in bags. They're 40-pound bags, and I'll put 6, 7, 8, 9 to the row. I'll try to put maybe 1,000 pounds or maybe 1,500 pounds in my tunnel. And then this year I went out and bought a small dump trailer so I could get a cheaper price and buy the compost in bulk. It was half the price. I put probably 2,000 pounds or more in the tunnel this spring. And then I incorporated it with my tiller and through some hills, put my plastic down, got my water lines down, and then I planted it. One of the things I've learned from watching some videos on YouTube, a fellow that I highly respect, he was talking about the advantages of compost. And not only does it loosen the soil, you get microbial action. Those microbes are good for the root health, and it retains water. And he was saying that compost will last about 5 years. And so what you want to do, hopefully, is come in every year with a small amount of compost and keep that bacteria. That bacteria that's in the compost has to have something to feed upon. If your compost gets old and dried out, then the microbes are gone. And it's kind of like you're starting over again. So you want to come in there and with a little bit of fresh compost and keep them going. And I really believe that's going to be a big help to me. I'm not trying to go organic, but I'm trying to enrich my soil and get it as good as possible. So hopefully I'll increase my production. And I think, you know, with any plant, the healthier the plant is, the more resistance you have to disease. And that's one of the things I like about the Florida 7514. It is an F1 hybrid, but it has a resistance to many of the diseases I get here in the South. We're in North Arkansas, and like all the South here, our humid weather and often cool weather, kind of like it is today, causes a disease. It's not always the hot weather, but diseases, a lot of them grow in cool, damp weather. So I do spray fungicides. I've got probably 4 different ones that I put on my plants. Might do a video later on that, but my mainstay, and it's probably, I don't know how to say this, the least invasive of all of them is mancozeb. It's got zinc and magnesium and a few other things in it. It's not a real scientifically engineered systemic type fungicide. It's a contact. And for those of you that I know, I've got neighbors that do not want to use a fungicide or anything else, you've got the wrong concept. Fungicide is like a raincoat or an umbrella. All it does is shield that plant from the disease being able to get through the leaves and the stems and into it and infecting it. And if you don't use the fungicide here in Arkansas, you are going to get early blight. If you don't have it this year, you will get it next year. I've got friends that go through it every year, and mancozeb is cheap, it's easy to apply. I do have some systemic fungicides, but my research tells me that it does not go into the fruit. It will go through the system of the plant to a certain degree, but it does not actually go into the fruit. But anyway, I've got my plants going this year. Things are looking really good. We're going to have a decent blueberry crop if you're local and watching this. And I hope to get my field tomatoes started here, I hope within a week. We're just staying a little too wet for me to put my field tomatoes in. The ground's too soft. I've got my plastic laid, I've got everything ready to go, but hopefully within a few days. And for me, I've not even got my garden in. I'm down on a creek bottom. It stays a little drier than most folks, but it's a lot better soil than most people have. So really hoping to get all my veggies in within maybe the next 4 or 5 days if we get some drying weather. The advantage I have is I irrigate out of a creek. So I hook up sprinklers. So if I get into June, July, in through there with my vegetables, I've got a way to get water on them. And for me, a little later doesn't hurt. My wife and I, she cans everything I grow. And so we're busy up till the 4th of July with the blueberries. We don't have a lot of time in June to can. So yeah, a little bit later garden really doesn't hurt me. So appreciate you watching. I'll give you another update in the real near future. Let me give you a short shot of the plants. There we go. You can get an idea of them a little bit. They're actually looking pretty good. Most of them are just about knee high. Now I've got put my stakes on, the stakes are for what you call a Florida weave. Most of y'all know what that is, but I've got a stake every 2 plants. I've tried it 3, and I've tried it, I think, maybe even 4. It doesn't work for me. The plants get a little too saggy. I want really good support on them. And I've already got got them pruned. When you find your first flower bud, come down 1 sucker, we call them prunes, come down 1 sucker and leave it, and everything below that pull off. And I'll be coming in probably later today putting another string on these, and I'm also going to cut some of the low-hanging leaves where they might be touching the ground, because that's generally where you get your disease from. So, okay, appreciate you watching. See you next time. Bye.